Hello everybody, this is a Lighthouse Hall of Fame film from the European servant Sebastian Potato in his AMX ELC BIS. And we are in Prokhorovka Standard Mode North Spawn. This is a scout map. He's already told his team he's going to try to spot from E1 and ask them to help him out. We have 3 artillery apiece. 1 scout on the enemy team, 2 on his, because they have a tier 7, he has 2 tier 5s. Top of both teams are mostly heavies. His team has 1 medium and 2 TDs, same as the opposite. No, the other team has 2 mediums and 2 TDs. Pretty close overall. Other team's just a tad bit more mobile, but not going to make a difference, I don't think. It's going to be a scout war, who gets the good spots and who can discover the other scouts and kill them first is probably going to win. So both the Leopard and him make it up here without being seen. M41 went over on the other side of the map, which probably isn't the best play on his part because it lets Sebastian Potato and Yakow get up here with nobody seeing him, so they already have an advantage in the fight. And now when the 41 comes over here, he may see the Leopard, but he's not going to see the AMX. The Leopard was kind of had his side sticking out. E25's over here as well. I don't know if that's a good idea, because he's up in a spot where he can't really use his gun without exposing himself. He would have done better to back off a bush or two and be able to fire. And you see Sebastian's backing up, then using the concealment of the bush to allow him to fire without being seen. Pull back forward, get spots. Back up. Maybe get a kill on this 152. Oh, he bounced it. He'll just repeat the procedure. Got to pay attention to the M41 so he doesn't get seen when he backs up. But here's the difference. He's in a situation where he can get away with doing this. Here's the difference between being good and being really, really good. And that is, he finds a way to not only passive spot, but also to employ his gun. So he's spotting and sniping at the same time. And that is something that you strive to do whenever you play, is do more than one thing at a time if you can. Especially if you get to use your gun. He's remaining completely hidden, but still getting to fire at tanks. And now the Persian's leaving. The Persian was the only one up on this side. So the 152's back there and severely beat up. The Persian's put himself in a position to where he can escape if he has to. You have to kind of wonder how many other tanks are over here that people are setting themselves up to leave this side of the map. Ah, gets another bounce. He's putting his rounds on target. A couple of them haven't done damage. If that 41 dies, I think you'll see him start to advance up this flank. Their heavies are starting to get impatient and move forward. And now he spots one and gets the kill. The reason he's able to back up like this is because the M41 is staying down in here. If he was working up closer to the ridge, like right now, he wouldn't be able to back up and get away with not being seen. But it's all pay attention to the minimap, understand what it means to you. He's moved forward, so he has protection to his left side, so the M41 can't see him as the M41 finally gave up and just went for it. Leopard's in hot pursuit. I don't know how that's going to work out. He may have to go back and help with the Leopard. And that's what he's going to do. The two heavies didn't seem to care that the Bulldog was down there, so the Leopard against the Bulldogs definitely, well, he got him. The Leopard should be able to beat a Bulldog. There's the 152's moved up into a spotting position. He's one shot from dead. And he's just going to keep doing this because the enemy hasn't done anything to stop him. They know they're getting shot by him. They don't know where he is. You got to remember, there's still 152 over here in G1. He jerked his mouse when he shot. It's easy to do. So he's taking a wide berth in the 152, even though it's almost dead. And really, any one of these tanks left can one-shot him. He's trying to come in from a different angle to expose the guy. He knows where he's at, or he's pretty confident of where he's at. He just needs to find the right angle to find him. There he is. So he approaches, so he keeps the bush between him and his target. And the guy dies without ever seeing Sebastian Potato. So we see both the heavies. He's just trying to look for the artillery now. There's one right in front of him. Looking the other way. This will be easy. Guy's going to get to the sideline too slow. Let him get behind him and it's all over. Now just swing around and shoot him. Three kills and counting. Yep. I'd take out the Hummel first too, because the M44 just shot, so the Hummel's probably going to be ready to shoot again first. Meanwhile, you had time to shoot the Hummel and then come back and shoot the M44. And there's a Pascucci, and up to 5 kills. So he moves on top of the ridge so he can get the firing angle that he wants. Now he just has to have the IS-2. Well, IS-2 took care of the problem by dying. Now he's not in the way. The Leopard's wisely trying to come up on the backside of the railroad and probably pop out and try to flank him, or else he's going to move on and shoot into the side of the other IS-6 farther up the railroad. Looks like he's trying to shoot in the back of this guy. There he goes. The Leopard's been playing really well. So Sebastian's going reposition. Oh. And he may just come up here and try to take out this low hit point IS-6 and leave the guy down at the south search for him. What he's trying to do is stay far enough away to let his superior view range keep him hidden while he shoots, but here's a great target of opportunity up here because this guy's focused on the Tiger and not looking for him. He's going to be an easy kill. Gotcha. Didn't see you, but I shot you. And that kill gives him a top gun. 1 kill to go. I should say 1 target to go. Notice how that white birch tree just happens to be in the way so the tank can't see him. It's not coincidence, folks. This is people using terrain effectively. Using the natural resources that you have to mask what you're doing. I guarantee you he's doing that on purpose. That's something you should always strive to do. If there's a tree there, use it. Set up behind it, even if it's 100 meters away, so it masks the location of your tank. Next shot wins. Bam! Game over. 1,947 damage, 7 kills. 17 of 22 shooting, that's 77%, and he got 3,022 spotting damage in 7 spots. 7 seems to be a recurring number here. He lost 7,813 credits, and he earned 2,811 XP, survived the fight, got an Orliks, a Pascucci, a Top Gun, a Patrol Duty, and then Spotter, Fire for Effect, and Bruiser medals. So he ends up with a battle score of 2,926, which is currently the 2nd place fight for an AMX ELC BIS. Very effective overall in the beginning. You saw him move up to E1, and then he wasn't satisfied to just sit and spot. He has a nice low profile tank to where he can back up and the bushes still conceal him, so he's able to get back far enough from the bush where he can fire at the enemy and not get seen. Pay attention when you're sitting here. You pay attention to anybody down in this area, because if they're down here, if you back up, you get spotted. And you saw when the M41 tried to run deep, he moved further up into the bush and didn't fire, so that he would have concealment on his left side as well. It's just paying attention to the map, knowing your tank, knowing how spotting and vision works, and taking advantage of what's around you to maximize your effort. Passive spotting's awesome. You can sit up there and passive and have great missions. But if the situation presents itself to where nobody is working right here in the middle and they're back in here like the M41 was a lot, that gives you the ability to back up and fire as well. So it's utilizing your tank as efficiently as possible throughout the entire battle. Once people started breaking down over here, a couple people moved over toward the middle, then he started trying to go deeper and spotting the tanks that were further back. And he did it quite slowly. He stopped, set up his approach on the 152. Then they had some people fighting in the middle, and he waited and finally started going deep and taking out the I think there was 2 heavies down there. And then it was time to go off and arty hunt. And even there, he didn't just go rushing in to try to engage 3 arty close up. He kept his distance, and he fired at the tank who was going to be ready to fire again first. The M44 had just fired, so he took out the Hummel first, knowing that the Hummel's going to be reloaded first, so at that point he's the biggest threat. And then with the heavies left, he kept his distance, let his superior view range work for him to cripple the first IS-6, then realized he could move in on the other and get a flanking shot, and the other guy would never see him. And then at the end, he sets up to where he has one of these tall trees like you see right in front of him. It's not the same tree. Maybe. This tree, even though if you're right up against it, wouldn't provide concealment, from a distance, when you put it between you and your target, it completely conceals you. So you have to stay aware of situations like that because they happen all the time. It's just, do you recognize the opportunity to use that thin little tree as a means to conceal the location of your tank while you take somebody out? The opportunities are out there for the alert scout to use. So pay attention to what's there. Figure out ways to use the terrain better than you are now, and you'll see your scores jump up. From Prokhorovka Standard North, putting on a clinic of how to shoot and not get seen. Sebastian Potato. Happy hunting.